Everyone tells you there are 3 exercises you need: squat, push-up, glute bridge. And if you have tried those and ended up with knee pain, shoulder pain, or a back that keeps taking over, that is not your fault. That's a content problem. I've trained over 1,200 women. My 3 are essential, and the order I teach them in tells you everything about why the other version keeps failing you. Most fitness content loads what's already overworked: your quads, your chest, the whole front of your body. For women who sit, carry stress, have breastfed for years, or have heavy breasts that pull them forward, adding more front load without addressing the backside is exactly why things keep breaking down. These 3 exercises build what has been neglected, and the order matters more than most people realize. We are going to work from the ground up, and we are fixing the upper back before we ever ask the body to squat, because a rounded upper back affects your pelvis affects your glutes then affect your knees. It is one chain, and we have to address it that way. Exercise 1, the glute bridge. Your glutes are the largest muscle in your body, and for most women, they are essentially turned off. Not weak, but they are disconnected. There's actually a clinical term for it: gluteal amnesia. And until those muscles turn on, your low back, your hip flexors, and your knees are doing the job for your glutes. And that can be painful. Here's how to start your glute bridge. You're going to lay on your back and then feel for a space underneath your back. If there's a big space underneath here and you can fit your hands underneath, pull your pelvis up, okay? Exhale until you feel your rib cage go down. There should be a neutral connection or a straight connection of your whole spine to the mat. Feel your heel and big toe connector, little toe connector press down on the floor. Feel like you're gonna just gently slide your feet towards you just a little bit, and you'll feel the back of your legs start to engage, which will help your glutes do the job when you have to come up. Now, you're going to push your feet into the floor while you're pushing your glutes up. Hold this position until you feel the bottom of your glutes are activated, and then lower down slowly, having your glutes carry you down. And then you're going to repeat, come back up, okay? And then lower down, having your glutes carry you down. I would do this for a set of anywhere from 10 to 15 reps, making sure that you're feeling your glutes do the job. A common mistake when we're doing glute bridges is if people start out with this big space underneath their back, they have a tendency to push up, and their glutes then are not doing the job. Since then their glutes are not doing the job, what is doing the job is their lower back. So you want to make sure that when you set up correctly, that it is your rib cage and pelvis are positioned in the right direction, that your back is not doing the work. So it should feel like a shorter movement. It should not feel like you have to come up very high. So if you need more clarity on how to do a glute bridge, the second video in this playlist is a deep dive into all the nuances that you need to feel in your body in order to perform a glute bridge perfectly. So if you're feeling something that doesn't feel right, go and take a look at that video. It's the second video in this playlist. Exercise 2. The prone I. And I want to explain why this comes before the squat, because most people would never put it here. A rounded upper back doesn't stay in your upper back. It travels down and will affect your squat. A rounded back tilts your pelvis forward, and a forward tilted pelvis shuts down your glutes. And when your glutes aren't doing their job, your knees take the load in a squat. So before we ever ask your body to squat, your upper back needs to know how to engage. That is exactly what this exercise teaches. This exercise is your prone I. I use something like this, which is an ab mat. This helps to make sure that you properly position your rib cage and pelvis correctly. If you obviously don't have something like this, use a pillow that you can stack up between your rib cage and your pelvis. So we're going to lay down. I put my forehead on this pillow so my neck is not too low. Then I'm going to bring my rib cage and pelvis. So watch my low back. We don't want this. We want this feeling. And that's tilting our pelvis downwards,
having our rib cage go down. You're going to place your arms at your side. Okay, this is known as a strict I, strict letter I. Then you're going to bring your shoulder blades together, hold that position. You can turn your thumbs out a little bit if that helps. Feel the contraction between the mid part of your shoulder blades connecting to your spine. Then let it come down a little bit. Okay, then you're going to come back up a little bit. Feel your shoulder blades move towards your spine. You may start to tremble a little bit, and that's okay. That's just a signal that some new muscle is being used.
There are some common mistakes that occur with this exercise, so I encourage people to notice their common mistakes. It's very hard to notice it just by feel, so you can video yourself, put your phone down at the side, and look for these things.
So common mistake number one is when we're positioned here, people are lifting their chest up. You don't want to do that. Another common mistake when they go to do it is they move their shoulder blades, but they're going into their neck, into their ears. You want to make sure your shoulders are aimed down towards your hip or your feet. The third common mistake is they'll come up and they'll use their arms up this high. You don't want to do that either. You want to make sure you're down at your side, a strict letter I. So remember, we're not lifting anything from here because that is kind of cheating the purpose of the exercise. If you want a deeper dive into understanding this exercise, check out video 3 in the playlist, and that one describes further what you should be feeling when you're doing this exercise. Exercise 3, the squat. And notice it is last, not because it is the least important, but because it is the most demanding, and it requires everything we built in the first 2 exercises to be available at the same time. Your glutes need to be on, your upper back needs to be engaged, and your rib cage and pelvis needs to be in position. And if any one of those things is missing or misaligned, you are going to feel it either in your knees or in your low back or both, which is exactly what most women experience when they start with a squat instead of ending with one. For our squat, I have a chair here because that's going to be something that you may need. So we're just going to have that just in case. But what you want to start with are your feet angled out to the side. Also, what we want to notice is that we do not have a lot of extension in our lower back, so we want to pull our rib cage in a little bit, pull our pelvis up, just like you did in that glute bridge video earlier. Then you can use your hands out in front of you as a little bit of counterbalance. Start pushing your hips back. Okay, when you get into this position, you want to make sure that you feel the whole posterior area of your legs. You also want to make sure that you feel this connection in your core and that you feel your mid back, right? So we're not rounded. Okay, so when you feel all of that, then you're going to use the glute muscles that you found on your glute bridge, okay, to be what pushes you up. A lot of people have a hard time finding those areas of their legs. So use something in front of you to hold on to. So when you get into position, you're going to feel your feet plant into the floor, toes turn slightly out, pelvis pulled up, rib cage tilted down a little bit. Start hinging your hips back as you go down. You can hold on to a chair in front of you. When you get here, then try letting go. Notice if you're going to fall back or fall forward. And if you feel like you're going to fall backwards, that's actually a good sign, because that means that you're using the backside of your body to hold you up, which is not the norm. Most people use the front side of their body to pull themselves up. So then when you're at the bottom part of your squat, then you're going to use your glute muscles that you found in your glute bridge exercise to push you back up. Then when you go back down again, okay, you're going to go down and reverse engineer what you just did coming up from your squat. When you're down here, you want to make sure, right, that you feel your rib cage is tilted down, your pelvis is pulled up, that we do not have a big extension in our lower back, because when that happens, it pushes us forward into our knees. And that is often what causes knee pain in squats, because we're not relying on the backside of our body, our hamstrings and glutes, to help us go up and go down. So one more time, okay, feet hip width apart, slightly turned out. You can have something in front of you to hold you, or you can just put your arms in front of you. As you start going down, you want to make sure that you feel this connection between your rib cage and pelvis. Make sure that your back is not rounded, okay? But make sure that you could feel that mid-trap area that you found in the prone eye exercise, and then use your glutes to push you back up. This exercise, if you feel like you're falling backwards, have something to hold on to. Try to get 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps. They don't have to be a ton of reps, and it's not meant to work up a sweat. You are just meant to start teaching your body a new order of operation. If you want a deeper dive into the squat mechanics, there is another video in the playlist, video number 4, which will talk about everything you need to know about doing a squat from the very beginning. And then video number 5 talks about our stack. 3 exercises: glute bridge, prone eye, squat, in that order, every time, because the order is the reason it works. Your glutes fire when your pelvis and rib cage are positioned correctly. Your upper back needs to feel locked in, shoulder blades engaged together toward the spine and pulled down toward your back pockets. That keeps the body from folding forward. Your squat works because both of those things are now available. That is not a coincidence, that is a system. And it's the system almost nobody in fitness is actually teaching, because most content skips straight to the movement and ignores the chain underneath it. You don't need to train harder. You need to train in the right order. The body works like a system of pulley cables and levers, and they all have to work together. Build these 3 patterns and your body will feel different. Not because you did more, but because you finally addressed what your body actually needs. Each of these exercises has its own video that goes much deeper. Video 2 is the glute activation protocol, why your glutes aren't firing, and exactly how to fix it. Video 3 is the prone eye, the shoulder blade exercise that changes how your upper back works. Video 4 loads that pattern with weight in a seated row. Video 5 is the full squat progression from the very beginning. They are all in the playlist. Start with video 2. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.